Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to give you guys a heads up on some really good historic low game deals that are available on Steam right now. So with this video, we're going to start off with the fairly cheap historic lows, and when I say fairly cheap, I'm saying under $3. And then after that, we will get to some more historic low deals, but they get a little bit more pricey, alright? So I know a lot of you guys aren't about the $50 games and whatnot, so we'll get to those later on. So starting things off, Strider is 80% off for $2.99. This is a great deal, and I wasn't a Strider guy growing up. Strider was a little bit before my time, but this is another one of those games, much like what I say about the recent like .emu releases like Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Very much a game that takes a classic franchise, modernizes it a little bit. Now, remember that this came out back in 2014, so it's 12 years old at this point, but relative to when Strider was around, it's still, you know, more recent than that, but you could still very much tell that it has that old school soul to it, and I really enjoyed the game. Thought it was a good action platformer. If you're into that style of game, I think you'll like it quite a lot. $2.99 on that, pretty good deal there. Then speaking of classics, you got DuckTales Remastered is 80% off for $2.99, a beautiful handcrafted reimagining of one of the most cherished 8-bit titles of all time. Go back to one of the golden ages of gaming, now refined with a level of detail that will please the most hardened devoted Disney or retro Capcom fan alike. Featuring hand-drawn animated sprites, authentic Disney characters, voices, talent, and richly painted level backgrounds from the classic cartoon TV series Scrooge McDuck and family come to life like never before. The gameplay retains the authenticity of its 8-bit predecessor, simple and fun with slight modifications to improve gameplay flow and design. Embark on an authentic DuckTales adventure as Scrooge McDuck and his three nephews Huey, Dewey, and Louie traveling to exotic locations throughout the world in their quest to retrieve the 5 legendary treasures. That is available now for $2.99. And then lastly, for the deals under $3, we got Remember Me, which is 90% off for $2.99. Now, this came out back in 2013, and I remember really digging the setting of the game, cyberpunk setting. It's definitely going to be a little bit dated in this regard, but I played it literally as it came out. And by the way, game is done by one Don't Nod Entertainment. Yes, the same Don't Nod that have done the Life is Strange titles and whatnot. Third-person action adventure where you play as a former elite memory hunter with the ability to break into people's minds and steal or even alter their memories. Speculative, stunning vision of our future discovered Neo Paris 2084, where augmented reality and memory digitization have taken control of people's lives. Play as an elite memory hunter with a clouded past, become the most wanted memory hunter in Neo Paris, and experience the power to break into people's minds and steal their memory. Memory remix, a balanced mix of combat and exploration, and a combo lab as well, where you can customize combos. $2.99 for Remember Me. Could be a game that ends up surprising a lot of people. Very positive reception all time. 4,800 reviews, 80% positive. Has a 65 on Metacritic. It's definitely one of those games that the critics thought was pretty mediocre, but it's of that era that I've talked about it before, that, you know, I'm kind of nostalgic with, like, where all of these mid-level, like, PlayStation 3 titles were coming out. Remember Me, you know, and mid to very good, actually. Remember Me, Enslaved, Saboteur, Red Faction Guerrilla even, you know, games of that ilk. And just have very fond memories of that timetable. But nonetheless, $2.99 on that. Alright, so now on to some of the more expensive games. We do have a Digimon Story Time Stranger, $52.49 on this one. I would get the base game. The Ultimate Edition is on sale, but by all accounts, the DLC is pretty mediocre. Digimon Story Time Stranger is awesome. I was blown away by this game, and I was expecting something really good, but this game just blew me away from how much I really did like it. It's a great turn-based JRPG. The story is great, and if you're a Digimon fan, you're gonna absolutely love it. A lot of content as well with all of the optional content. Now, bear in mind, some of the side content is pretty mediocre, and you kind of have to do the side content because the side content is tied to the, you know, digivolving and whatnot, so that's a little bit of a bummer, but, you know, overall, the game is great, and I very much recommend it. $52.49, obviously on the pricier side, but worthwhile there. Next up, we have Persona 3 Reload, 60% off for $24. I really liked Persona 3 Reload. I played Persona 3 back when it came out on the PlayStation 2, and this game is a fairly faithful remake. However, being a fairly faithful remake, you still see some of the dated elements, particularly the Tartarus. I just feel like isn't the best designed section of this game, but, you know, it is what it is. It's a core element of the game. Narratively, it's incredibly strong. The characters are super likable. The soundtrack is absolutely outstanding, and the visuals are great as well. For $23.99, definitely a good pickup there. We have Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, 65% off for $21. I know a lot of people really like this game as a turn-based JRPG. I wasn't as crazy about it, but I'm very much in the minority on that. Like, a lot of the times when I talk about these deals, yes, there's a lot of my personal opinions, but then you also have to realize that just because you didn't really like a game, ultimately, there's a reason why SMT5 has an overwhelmingly positive reception on Steam. Look, the opinions of the 3,500 reviewers outweighs the one opinion of me where I just didn't click with the game, and that's fine. I want to go back and jump into it at some point again, but yeah, $21 on that. Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, 70% off for $17.99. Now, this is a game that I really enjoyed. Obviously, RGG titles right now, optics aren't great after the release of Kiwami 3. I really do think there's a lot of the just hyperbolic takes right now when it comes to RGG. Look, they have had a very bad media cycle with Yakuza Kiwami 3. Nobody's taking that away from them. However, how many of their last few games were, like, really good to excellent? Pirate Yakuza was great. Ishin was solid. What was out in 2024? Infinite Wealth. Literally, Infinite Wealth was 2024. That was good. Man Who Erased His Name was good. What was before that? Yakuza Like a Dragon was really good. Judgment, Lost Judgment were really good. How many great games have they put out where, yes, they may have had one misfire with Kiwami 3, but I assure you, everybody that's spelling the N for RGG, man, Stranger Than Heaven is going to come out in the next year or so. Maybe next year, maybe early next year. And then the next mainline Like a Dragon title is going to come out, and hopefully they'll be cooking again, because they're one of the most consistent studios on the planet, and Pirate Yakuza was a great title. Yes, it's a spin-off Majima title, but it's still a damn good time. I thought the naval combat was really worthwhile, and Majima's goated. So, like, yeah, this was a great game. $17.99, good pickup on that, and I would definitely recommend it. Then we got Sonic X Shadow Generation, 60% off for $19.99. Awesome game. Sonic Generations is really good. Unfortunately, they tried to scheme, and now you can't buy that game standalone, and you have to get this version, which is exponentially more expensive, but you do get the Shadow campaign, and the Shadow campaign is excellent. It's just not super lengthy, so is what it is as far as that's concerned, with $19.99 on that. And then I would definitely be remiss if I don't end this video with Death Stranding Director's Cut, which is $9.99. Death Stranding 2 has officially been confirmed for PC. Now would be a great time to play Death Stranding 1, and Death Stranding 2 is going to be $70 on release on PC, which is kind of crazy. You know, a game that came out, what would it have been by the time it's released? 9 months. A 9-month delayed release and still $70 is kind of wild. I'm kind of going to have to push back on that, but you know what? It is what it is, as I say. Death Stranding 1, though, $9.99 on that. Definitely a worthwhile pickup there. That'll do it for me. Again, a lot of great deals available right now. Check out the links in the description box below. Some fantastic historic low game deals. As always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.